My name is Lynn Hinderrocker, and we're going to tell you today, this show is brought to you by the Empowerment Breakfast here in Omaha, Nebraska. They get together the last Friday of every month. They meet at Beacon Hills Restaurant at Exarban Village here, kind of in the center portion of Omaha, Nebraska. The Empowerment Breakfast people have been around for some time, kind of got pulled together by the Action Coach team, Jim Barger, Mike McCain, and some other people. But I have to tell you, one thing interesting about this, when you go to the Empowerment Breakfast, you're going to meet a lot of other small business people and so on, but they bring in speakers, right? They bring in speakers, and these speakers have full, kind of full freedom, latitude to do whatever they think they need to do in terms of making their presentation relevant and interesting and so on. We've got what the Empowerment Breakfast wanted to hear. They wanted to start the presentation with a dramatic, attention-grabbing message, okay?
Yeah.
And when you in public speak, I don't know if you know this, but in public speaking, you start with something a little surprising, but has a wide context.
Oh, okay.
So if the audience doesn't like it, you can get the hell out. And no, but if they you can kind of come at the subject from a couple angles.
Right.
So we'll pretend right now that you're right there at the Empowerment Breakfast.
Okay.
As you were.
I actually was.
Yes, and there was a thundering applause, as you recall.
My ears are still ringing.
Okay, here we go. So imagine an audience right here at the Beacon Hills Restaurant, right?
Okay.
Unseen birds cluck and tweet. Humans triangulate across the street. Clouds boom, there's plenty of room, gone now, back soon, then gone again. Like the drips and the drops, counter-rhythmic hips and hops coming out, the musical spout, an eco beat, a psychic treat, a splenetic riff, a sacred whiff of eco juice, cutting me loose, nature's notes that spray and play and say, enter the fray, but don't go away, it's time to play. Eco bebop, eco hip hop, eco trip hop. Turns on the car just down the street. Time to meet neighbors we don't know. Sleepy kids in tow. Shutting the door, feet on the floor, leaving their scent, following their bent. The moment arrives, the drummer drives. Rubber meets the road. Pressure, diffusion, percussion, atoms blend. They found a friend. Integration, celebration, fabulation. Robins clap, sparrows flap, a jet roars, a cloud pours. No difference, really. It's all the same. Doesn't need a name. The rhythm of life on your platform, your marketplace, and your hub. Huh?
You need a beret and a cigarette. So
And a beatnik and a bongos drum in
bongos.
1957. I know.
No,
what
that's
you're thinking.
it's very deep.
But it does at the very end, I think the point that I'm going to try to make the point.
Okay.
That it's all energy.
Right.
Right. And energy is what matters when you go to an organization, when you go hang out, when you're at a group, when you're starting a company. Sometimes you get too focused on this thing and you have your to-do stuff and your checks and marks, right. And you forget the point that it's all energy and it all overlaps and it's all connected. And in the end, somebody says, your organization is doing really well, man. They're really out there pumping, and I think they're really, I just want to congratulate. And you're going, but we didn't get the newsletter out on the right time, and we had a typo in the last press release, and our product had a small defect. I just feel bad about things. No.
Yeah.
Right. But the Empowerment Breakfast will allow speakers to kind of stretch out a little bit, make the key point, engage the audience. You ought to go. It's only $25. And you meet a lot of great people, and they're interested in you. And that's what really matters when you're at a mixer that has an educational tool.